All right, Monday night, and we're talking about follow up, which when I hear someone say follow up, the first thing that comes to my mind is work. Like, that's work. But guess what? There's a reward for hard work. There's a reward for actually having a system that you follow, which is really bad news for me because I am still trying to figure that out for myself. And I grab little nuggets from people here or there, and it only gets better. So I hope tonight, when you're listening to follow up, that you grab some nuggets that you can incorporate into your business, because really what it boils down to is this: when you do follow up right, you make someone feel important. You make someone feel like they didn't fall through the cracks. And that's the last thing that you want to do. I cannot tell you the number of times I've sent out samples and forgotten that I sent them out and didn't follow up for like a month or even longer. That is not a valuable business building tool. And if you struggle with this, I want you guys to know you're not alone, but you can get better. And I would encourage you to make that a goal of yours. So when I look out at people building their business, if somebody's in momentum, and that's what I would say Tabitha's in, that you're going to get to hear from tonight. If someone's in momentum, they're clearly doing the thing. So that's who you want to hear from. What is it that they're doing? What are they learning? What's working? What's not working? And that's why I asked her to share tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Tabitha. I cannot wait to hear from you. I've got my notepad ready to go. And introducing Tabitha about follow up.
Thank you so much. I honestly would not say that like this is my absolute forte, but then when Jen came to me and she's like, it really sticks out to me that this is something that you are good at, I was really flattered because she has a lot more belief in me than I do about certain things. And the fact that leaders in the company recognize different qualities in you is just builds the belief in yourself that you go and start doubting. Because like Jen said, even at the top of the company as a diamond or however long you've been doing this, we heard from Emily Roberts this morning, if you were on Jen's power hour, and she was just like, yeah, yesterday, Sunday, I had a moment and I just had to cry. And it's just like, it's so refreshing to hear from people who've been doing this for years and years, still have their moments of feeling like failure or getting into that human mindset of I can, believing those lies that they work so hard to work their way out of. It just goes to show me, someone who's a little bit lower on the totem pole, that yes, you're working hard, you can still get to a place that you feel like you're on the top of the world, but then have moments or days where you're not feeling so great. And for me in my business, it's been a little bit rocky. I've only been doing this for about 17 or 18 months, but I have had to do this while working 4 part-time jobs. When I first started Plexus, my daughter was 4 months old. My middle child was only 2.5, and my oldest had just turned 3. So I had my toddlers really young, and I was teaching piano lessons, about 8 students a week. I was cleaning the church by myself with the 3 kids, 10 hours a week. And I was working 30 to 40 hours a week babysitting for my niece and a friend of mine. So there were lots of hours being put into these 4 part-time jobs. And honestly, where I'm at right now, a year and a half into my journey, I have surpassed that income I was bringing with those jobs by a lot. Like I've doubled my income from what I was doing. And that was taking a lot out of me. So I didn't have a ton of systems. I was riding a high. I got to gold within 7 or 6 or 8 weeks of being with Plexus because I had to pay my husband's birthday fund back because I borrowed from his birthday fund in order to buy my welcome pack because he wanted to do this with me. So I went big and I got that, that $200 welcome pack, or $199 at the time, and I had to pay back his $30 vacation birthday fund. So there was a huge why behind my motivation of doing this. But then also just like having that belief, okay, I'm going to get out of doing one of these 4 part-time jobs really quickly. And that went fast. But you know what? It was one of those times where I was still very, very tight on money. We came into November. It was at that time getting close to Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I personally did not want to ask people to spend money on their health when I knew I barely had a Christmas fund for my children. That year, we were not able to spend Thanksgiving with our families because of illness and trying to keep our little niece who has health problems from getting sick because all three of my kids were going through a bad cold. And we only had Thanksgiving because my church was doing a food drive and we were one of the families that they gave that food to. That's how bad of a place we were in at the time, that like we were one of those churches. And it's not, I'm not saying it's like because we were so poor or whatever, but God knew I needed that encouragement right then to be able to continue posting and show people that there is love from wherever you're going to see it. And it gave me some posting information, but I stalled out in my business because I was overworked. I put too much on my plate and I was afraid of asking people to spend money when I wasn't willing to spend very much money. So I got out of that rhythm of what I was doing and pouring into myself, training, listening to YouTube videos. And I did not re-rank gold until April of the next year. So I just stalled and I sat and I stalled and I was sad and I had lots of moments of crying. And then I went to a leaders retreat type thing that my uplines hosted. And actually Laura and Donnelly Robinson and Jen Leith all came and spoke at that event. And it was the weekend the world shut down. Like it was the weekend of the 12th through the 14th of March and the world was shutting down around us. But these diamonds still came out and they spoke to us and they shared, poured into us. And I literally just sat there for like an hour crying and pouring my woes out to this room of 15 women. And Jen just prayed for me then. That's when she, like all of my leaders were just praying over my business. And I completely turned things around in my belief for myself. I was going to get out of this rut. So I did start to put in some systems of follow-up. And part of that was really pouring into my business builders more than my customers and giving them little nuggets of when they would rank silver. Or I got on Amazon, I would get little like packets of 12 or 20 earrings because Jen Leith, when I went gold 8 weeks into my journey, she sent me a card with a pair of earrings. I still have those beautiful pink feather earrings in my in my jewelry box. And she sent that belief to me. I see you, you're working hard. Here's your reward for that. Keep going. You're going to the top. So from a diamond, I got that message. And then I got personalized texts from Laura and Donnelly as well. And just the belief from people above me pouring into me. So I want to be that person for my team, for any of the level ones that my team has, and they're trying to help duplicate. So I just send little cards with, 50-cent earrings, they don't have to know that, but it's really special because you thought of them, thought this might look well with their wardrobe because you've seen their pictures, something like that in a card. Recently, for follow-up with people, I feel like just pouring into them, not only with a text, but also by sending a package shows sacrifice. So I got myself some business cards. I love, they're only $14.99 on my Plexus print. And that has my Facebook, my phone number, and my email in case other people want to get a hold of me. But I do little packages on Amazon. You can buy these little bubble wrap things. It doesn't matter how much you stuff inside these things. It's only going to be like $3.80, depending on the state you're sending it to, max $4 to send the sweetest little care package with your face in it, your business card, a handwritten note. Hey, I'm thinking about you, or welcome to the team. I'm one of your uplines. I'm excited you're here. Trust the process. I always try to build that belief in not only my people, but also the downlines, that what they're saying to you is be consistent. I'm going to reaffirm, trust the process, be consistent, stick with it, just right from the beginning. And then I found these really cool stickers. I absolutely love them because motivational anything I think is great. And a lot of people have computers working from home, or notebooks they love, or water bottles if you're encouraging them on their journey to get to their water intake. They have these really pretty vinyl stickers. Am I doing that upside down? We can do hard things, just something like that. Send in the thank you card with your business card, that little tiny earring, and a handwritten note. And that's gone a really long way for the team, and kind of trickling down to my team, teaching them that this is part of follow-up. This is the way that you can actually attract and show that one Plexus community that we have. So that's just something lately I've been doing, and I've seen a lot of help with that. And all of this stuff you can buy on bulk and on Amazon. These stickers, I got a pack of 50 for like $5.99. Really, really awesome prices. And then I'm using them for birthday cards. I'm wanting to just like spread the joy. And I got this whole booklet of planner stickers that I stick on the back of the card if I'm just sending a card, or my thank yous. And it has like summer things or birthday themes, or it has get your sparkle on, or today's going to be a good day, and just seal the envelope with that. To me, it's just kind of like a little kiss that I'm sending to everybody, or just a smile, because it shows them that you care. And that's what I do for my team, as well as the people who are in the downline, to just show them that you can do this. Now, for my personal recruits, I started doing something. Stephanie Farron showed me, or she sent me these graphics. If any of you want them, just blow up my messenger and I can send them to you, to help me with retention. I had really like quick growth, and then I wasn't very good at what I was doing, didn't know how to follow up well. But now that I've brought on this system, retention is a lot better, because I'm warning them, not warning them, but I am warning them. And I'm showing them, like, as you start your journey, this is what you want to do. So once we seal the deal, we get them going, I've learned, don't leave more than 48 hours in between a message of sending one the triplex video, or have you heard of Plexus, and they message you back. Make sure that, especially in your pipeline, you're doing that, so that you can seal the deal quickly, get their belief really happy, send them stories. In like my team's page is stories and supplements, third-party validation. If they don't want to jump onto a three-way chat with you, you can still like give them testimonies. You're always looking for their health goals. Like I always ask, what's your main health goal? And, or if they don't really think of much, then it's like, okay, do you want energy? Do you want overall long-term gut health? Or do you want pain and inflammation reduction? I kind of give them those three choices, and then I can, introduce the products a little better. So, okay, we've sealed the deal. We get them going. As you're waiting on your package to come, I am so excited about this. I cannot wait for you to get your package. But here are a couple visual aids for you. Just read through this so that you understand what you're going to be getting yourself into, what your body is going to be doing over these next 60 to 90 days as you're getting used to the products. And I can't wait to get together with you once they get here, because I do not send them their dosage chart until their products arrive. But I am sending them, it's 7 graphics, but they're really pretty. It looks like stationery, and it just kind of tells them like what we're doing and getting to the root issues. This is especially if you're sending them the triplex, for sure, but I just send it to anybody so they understand that. Honestly, I tell everyone, okay, we're going to work on inflammation right now and energy, but you're going to be working on your gut health eventually, because that's where the long-term help is. So let's just get that pain under control, and then know that you're going to transition into the gut health portion of my products and what have helped so many other people. So I kind of just line it up like there are going to be other products that you're going to fall in love with, so that's why I send these graphics to them. And they're all just like, either, okay, I'm nervous, or, oh yeah, I got this. I'm not worried about this at all. And it just shows them like they're going to need to do their water. They're going to need to do these things. They might see detox. So they already know before their package gets there that this is going to happen. And I have not seen as many people fall off because of using this one little tip through that follow-up. So then I tell them, okay, read these while your box is on its way. The minute your box comes, you better send me a picture, because I'm going to send you your dosage chart, and we will get you started ASAP. So then they have that dosage chart for a very slow ramp up to building up to the full dosage on triplex. And then I check in once a week for the first month, and then every 2 weeks for their 60 to 90 day markers. And the retention is just huge in that. So I have a whole script that I send for week 1. They're like 3 days in, week 2, week 3, week 4. Sometimes I do forget about them. I haven't put them on my calendar, or they haven't responded to me. So I kind of speed up the process, or I wait a little bit longer in between hearing from them. And so I'll tweak a little bit what that message might sound like, but I am upfront and I'm asking, is there any detox that we need to troubleshoot? Is there something? That's what Diamond Shay Jones shared. She's just like, here's my check-in troubleshoot message. And I love that, because then they understand that like, they can be as honest as I need them to be about all the TMI. And guys, I'm like Jen Leifer. I'm just like, guys, TMI is not too much with me. I'm a mother of 3. We all have the same body parts. We all function the same way. We all know we own a toilet. So you just better be honest with me. And I do that all in voice message, and I play it off, because there's no reason for me to start you on your gut health journey without you knowing that I understand all the nitty gritty and I'm going to be there. I don't have a gallbladder. So it took me 6 months to regulate my extremely wet poops or my constipation. So I'm going to be able to focus on whether you have a gallbladder or not, what you're going to be able to work through, or if you've had other surgeries, if you worked through Crohn's, I'm understanding better how the bowels work. So knowing exactly what everyone's going through and what their sensitivities are, I always refocus that back in especially those first 30 days when we're talking about it, and then at the 60 and 90-day mark. And usually they're pretty grounded and excited, and or by 60 days, we might be adding something else in because they have perk points. And by month 3, they can already get a full size free product. As soon as their subscription goes out, check in with them. Okay, look at your perks points. You got at least 350 perks points. What are we going to claim? We're going to get that in your sub now so that it goes out with your box next month. Because if the same month that they redeem their perks points, they will not get those perk points. They will get it in the next month's subscription. And I honestly love that Plexus set it up that way, because it does ensure that we get them locked into that 90 days of these are the products they're going to try. And I've just seen so much retention with that. Like, and the follow-up, it's a lot more personable. And it's not always checking in on just the days of like when I'm checking in on their stuff. I do purposefully go to their stories and watch things, or Jen always says, send an encouraging message or create your own little graphic, find something in Instagram. Or honestly, Joanna Miller is the queen of gifts, just however you want to call it. But she literally just sends like that. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you put into the search bar, you can say hi or hey, and there's that Tom Hanks, and he's just like, hey, it's just like ridiculous. You don't have to say anything, but people either send you a smiley face or they love your gift. And that opens up conversation if they haven't been following up with you. And when you have those stubborn people who just don't want to answer you, or they're wicked embarrassed about, my tummy rumbled so much. I mean, I had one lady tell me, she's like, my husband says I have man farts. When she got on the ease, I was like, yep, every one of us does until our body gets used to that ease. You're going to be okay. Tell them it's okay. Just a couple more weeks of this. And they get a kick out of it when you're just really lighthearted about it, or you just keep it very like, guys, I don't care. That's what I'm here for. I am the lady who's going to help you poop. So let's just be honest about it, So I don't know if you have any more questions about that or anything else you want me to expand on, but that's about it for now.
Okay. So a couple things that you're saying that I wanted to touch on. The first one was you're sharing about these stickers and you're sharing about the card. And I was picturing someone listening and saying, well, I wouldn't need that. And this is something we do to ourselves. It's self-sabotage, because we'll say, well, I don't need the recognition. Like, I don't care if they put my picture on a graphic, or I don't need fill in the blank. But guess what? The majority of people do need that. So even if you don't think that you need a card in the mail with a cute little sticker, guess what? When you do that, that catches people's attention, because everybody's shopping online right now. How many companies, what company sends me handwritten cards? Chewy. I order dog food through them. They send me handwritten cards, and I'm not kidding, literally handwritten, thanking me for my order. They sent me a Christmas card that was handwritten. I will be their customer for life. I mean, that to me, it's those little touches. Okay, so a couple of things I wanted to touch on as well. One was, I like that you brought up the perks conversation. So listen, if you guys can be dripping their future, just like Tabitha was sharing, drip their future from the beginning. I think I'm going to get you started on the triplex. So there's that word, I get you started. But I think when you get your perks credits, I'm going to have you add the X factor, because I think it's going to help you with your hormones. So you're already paving the road ahead of you that you're going to be adding products. Like, this is not a 3-product experience. Now, you said something, Tabitha, that I love. You're breaking this down to 30-day benchmarks, 60-day benchmarks. If you guys can get someone to 90 days, 87% of people that use the products for 90 days stay forever. Okay. So if you can get them to 90 days, they're there. You've got them locked in. Now, Leslie asked a question. Do you have a specific checklist that you use for each person? Like, okay, I've already sent them this, I've already done that. Or are you just keeping it in your mind?
I just kind of know where the conversation has been or what I send them. When I send the thank you cards, not really. I mean, because that's just there. But when you know the person, you've walked through the system, at least for me, I know where they were, and you have it in the chat. So I can always scroll up if I don't exactly remember what it is they started with before I send the dosage chart. Okay, were they my inflammation people or were they my triplex people?
Mm-hmm.
And because I sign people up 99%, I'm either in Messenger walking them through the sign up process, or I'm on the phone with them. The conversation sticks in my mind a lot more about who they were and what they were wanting as well. And that's helped a lot, just connect the dots of who's who.
Yeah. And honestly, that is how I usually operate. But the problem with it is, for me at least, I signed up this girl for the first intermittent fasting challenge in January. And I kept asking her to share with 3 people. Well, she started doing that in February. I never told her about the Engage app, but I thought I did. I just never did. And so then when she signed up now she's on her 7th person, I said, don't forget to tell them about the Engage app so they can send out their free samples. She said, the Engage what? Oops. So there is a benefit, and Canva is amazing for this, guys. There's no reason why you couldn't go into Canva and make yourself a checklist. Like if you wanted to put a line for someone's name and put, I sent them the graphic that Tabitha is sharing about waiting for their products. I've sent them a follow-up encouragement. I've sent them the dosage chart, and you just check as you go along. Now, everything we're focused on right now is somebody that's already said yes. But remember, there are buckets for follow-up. You have follow-up for people that are still thinking about plexus. You haven't said or done the thing that's really going to push them over the edge. And I want you to remember something about this. Most people, here's what they're going to do. They're going to say, well, I'll see if any of my friends want to try it. So they'll tell 3 people. They might put 1 post up. They don't have any comments. Their friends never say yes the first time. So they're like, didn't work for me. Like, I'm terrible at this. They don't understand the work that goes in to follow up. And so if you don't, what I want you to do is hold your cards back. Don't play them all in that first connection. Okay. Hold your cards back. That means what she was sharing about with the follow up with a video, follow up later on with the testimony, follow up later with the offer for the 3-day challenge box to order that and being part of the group, that just 3 days group. If you have enough follow-up touch points, it's never awkward. And then whenever a new product comes out, say, I know we've been talking and I didn't want you to miss out. I'm your girl. I'm going to always tell you what's going on. You become a reliable, trustworthy source for them. Okay. And so you've got that follow-up bucket for people that haven't said yes yet. You have follow-up bucket for your personal level ones. But here's another thing that happens as you begin growing a team. You now have team members that are putting you in chats with their potentials. And that might be your level 2, your level 3. So you're needing to model that for your people. What does follow-up look like? Do you need a checklist? How many of you guys put a 1 in the chat if you have the Doe app? Anybody has the Doe app? I'm curious. Put a 1 in the chat, because that is something people are saying is really helpful for them. Okay, so let me go ahead and you can find this in your app store. You do have to pay for it, but it will tell you people to follow up with every single day and give you a space for you to share what you followed up with them about. So you're also following up with your business builders. Your follow-up is meant to create trust in the relationship. So if you happen to put information in there, I hope you do, but remember, it's not that. It is the trust that you're creating in the relationship. And so if you've ever bought something from somebody and every time they talk to you, it's about the product, it feels like a robotic relationship. And it doesn't mean you have to remember all their kids' names or what's going on with their marriage or that they just came back from Jamaica. It doesn't have to be about that. In fact, you could say something about you. Say, oh my goodness, we had such a rough week. I have teenagers. How's everything going in your house? So that way you're talking about you, but asking them a question about that. Or we've had the best weather here. How's it been where you're from? Remind me where you're from again. They're going to be like, I told you 3 times. I'm from South Carolina. Whatever. You can't be perfect. You're not going to remember everything, but you become a conversationalist, an expert at conversations with the follow-up. And so I would encourage you guys, from what Tabitha said, go figure out what represents you and go on Amazon and invest a little bit of money, whatever that might look like, something that you would send them, something that you would write to them. Make this personal for you and make that connection so that one day you're going to be on a Zoom and someone's going to say, I remember when Sarah sent me my very first card. She had handwritten it and she put a sticker for me to put on my water bottle. And it felt small, but I also felt seen. What a simple thing to do to create a legacy business. These are such easy ways. It just takes a little bit of extra effort, but easy effort to make that connection. And so when I see Tabitha with her people, I see trust. And to me, that is a business that will last forever. If people can bring people in the door, great. I'm so happy. I'm so happy if someone can enroll 100 people in a year. That's amazing. But if they don't stay, then that is not a legacy business. What you want is people to feel the trust and then duplicate whatever you're doing with your team. If that means you go and buy 20 earrings for 50 cents, that's worth the investment. Okay, so I don't see anybody saying that they have the Dough app. Well, Annie and Allison do. Would one of you guys unmute and say what you love about the Dough app really quick? Annie or Allison?
I absolutely love it. It's fantastic. I can sync my Facebook to it. I can sync my Instagram to it. I can also sync my back office to it. And they have all of my ambassador information on there. So I can go in and do my follow-ups with them and then check it off of my list on there. And it also gives me suggestions of people from Facebook that I can reach out to as a new reach out. So it gives me my IPAs for the day. And I can put in my notes for every person that I talk to. For that, I can put in a quick note and it'll tell me, okay, your follow-up is in such and such amount of days, and I can set that.
That's fantastic. So that might be something you think about investing in for your business. And if you don't, just if you guys want to get Project Broadcast, that's very inexpensive. It's a texting app that allows you to send messages to people that have joined you on a routine, like the 3-day check-in, a 7-day check-in text, a 2-week check-in text. There are ways to automate this if it feels overwhelming. You can also just go old school and grab your calendar and put on the day, follow up with Melissa, and that way you remember to do it for that day. But there is a reward for staying organized. There is a reward for doing intentional follow-up. If you guys have the mentality of they're an adult, they can figure it out just like I did, you're the 1 in a million. The people on this call, the people that want to build a business with Plexus are the 1 in a million. We didn't need all the things, but the majority of the population needs what we're talking about tonight. So I encourage you to create that system for yourself. And I don't know if you felt this when you listened to Tabitha, but she's got that magnetic energy, and that's what she's pouring out into people. If you think, well, I don't have that. Yes, you do. You just need to figure out what your niche is. It may not be a sticker. It may be something totally different. It may be a special article that you love to send to people that's all about the gut health, because you're going to attract people that are like you. And so they're probably going to like whatever it is you like. So don't be afraid to add personalization to your experience with Plexus. Create yourself a system that actually allows you to create that trust. Tabitha, you are amazing. And I appreciate you giving us your time tonight. And you guys go look into the Dough app, and I will upload this particular recording. You did such a good job. Thanks everybody for hopping on. Good to see ya. Good night.